Hi, I'm Chelsea, your resident reality TV skeptic, here to dissect every producer manipulated tier and scripted fight.
And I'm Nat, a social media manager by day and a reality TV lover by night. Welcome to Reality Rants and Raves, where we lovingly roast all things reality TV. Follow along as we start with our general feelings on Love on the Spectrum, and then we will jump into a recap of the first episode of Season 3.
Let's get into it. So first, I need to get something off my chest right away. You all know I'm usually the first to call out the fakeness in these shows. I mean, that's literally my brand, but there's this one show that hits completely different and I can't even pretend to be cynical about it. Love on the Spectrum.
Wait, is Chelsea Seen It All Martinez actually admitting she genuinely likes a reality show? This is historic.
Look, Love on the Spectrum is just different. The authenticity level is off the charts. There's just no other show that even comes close. These are real people with real emotions, and for once, I'm not sitting here trying to spot the producer's hand in every scene.
It's so refreshing, and that's what we're diving into today. Season 3, Episode 1.
I find myself genuinely rooting for these people. Like, I want them to find love. I made the decision to emotionally invest in these people. Who am I becoming?
You're becoming a believer, and I am here for it.
So for anyone who's new to Love on the Spectrum, let me break it down for you. It's basically a dating show that follows adults on the autism spectrum as they navigate the often complicated world of dating and relationships.
But it's not your typical dating show with hot tubs and cocktail parties and people there for the wrong reasons. In what universe would a show actually focus on authentic human connection?
In this universe, apparently. What makes this show stand out is how raw and unfiltered it is. There's no manufactured drama, no ridiculous competitions to win one-on-one time.
No, it's just people being genuinely themselves, which is so refreshing. The production team actually helps match these singles with potential compatible partners, and then we get to follow along on their dates.
And let me tell you, the emotional stakes feel so much higher because you're watching people who are being completely vulnerable and honest. There's no game playing or strategic alliances.
Plus, the show gives us this amazing window into their lives before and after dates. We see them getting ready with their families, processing their feelings, and it's just so real. It's giving wholesome reality TV vibes. And can we talk about how the show doesn't treat autism as something to overcome? It's just part of who these people are.
Exactly. The show isn't trying to fix anyone. It's about finding someone who appreciates you exactly as you are, special interests and all.
And speaking of special interests, they're actually celebrated on this show. Like, they don't edit out when someone talks passionately about trains for 5 minutes. It's part of getting to know them.
Netflix's third season keeps the same formula that worked so well in the first 2 seasons. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess.
No, but seriously though, I feel like this show makes me a better person just watching it. Is that weird to say?
Not at all. Okay, let's dive into Connor's journey this episode because there was a lot happening there. First of all, that moment when his mom suggested he go on a date with a blonde, I thought he was going to short circuit.
Oh my God, his reaction was priceless. He was like physically recoiling at the thought. I've never seen someone so committed to brunettes exclusively in my life.
In what universe is hair color a deal breaker to that extent? But that's what I find fascinating about Connor. He has these really specific preferences and changing them seems genuinely distressing.
But he did it. That's growth. And can we talk about his mom? She was so patient walking him through that whole process. The way she helped him iron his shirt was giving me all the feels.
That was actually really sweet. You could tell she wanted him to succeed, but also respected his boundaries. And those dogs watching the whole preparation process were basically the Greek chorus of this episode.
Not me getting misty watching his mom help him get ready for his first date in over a year. She knew exactly how to encourage him without pushing too hard. I need her energy in my life.
The date itself with Kate was interesting. He seemed so thrown when she didn't like Pomeranians. You could practically see him recalibrating in real time. Isn't one of his dogs a Pom?
Kate was so smiley, though. I loved how she kept the conversation flowing when Connor was struggling, And then when she admitted she had a crush on him from watching previous seasons, this is giving fan meets celebrity vibes.
That was a plot twist I didn't see coming. I'm writing this producer's name down because matching him with someone who already knew him from TV was a choice.
But did you see how she was looking at him? She was definitely smitten. Meanwhile, Connor was still trying to process that she is blonde and doesn't like poms.
The lack of common interest seemed to really throw him. It was fascinating watching him try to reconcile his attraction to her with their different interests. That's actually a very neurotypical dating struggle, too.
That end of date moment, though? I was literally screaming at my TV. She was giving him all the signals that she wanted a second date, and he just froze.
That cliffhanger was actually painful to watch. You could see he was struggling with what to say, and Kate's face was just radiating "please ask me out again" energy.
I just feel like Connor's going to need some processing time before he decides. His brain was clearly doing calculations about blonde hair and Pomeranians versus how much he enjoyed her company.
Now, let's talk about Madison, who's new to this season. She immediately struck me as incredibly self-aware and independent.
I instantly fell in love with her. She's so bright and honest about who she is. The way she just puts herself out there without apology is something we could all learn from.
That's what makes this show so different from other dating shows. When Madison talks about wanting to find her person, there's no producer-manufactured sincerity there. She genuinely means it.
And her special interests? Obsessed. The bead collection and jewelry designing she does is actually incredible. Did you see how her face lit up when she was showing them off? That's pure joy.
I appreciate how the show frames these special interests not as quirks, but as genuine passions that are central to who she is. Her hands are always busy creating something beautiful.
Not me wanting to buy all her jewelry designs. But can we talk about her American Girl doll collection? The way she remembered every single doll's name and backstory was impressive.
That level of recall was remarkable, and what struck me was how she openly shared that these dolls help soothe her anxiety. They're like best friends to her. There's something so refreshingly vulnerable about that admission.
This is giving me flashbacks to how defensive I got when my ex made fun of my reality TV spreadsheets. Finding someone who respects your passions is so important.
Exactly. Madison clearly needs a partner who not only tolerates but embraces her interests. Someone who's going to be excited about Disneyland trips and won't mind sharing space with her doll collection.
Oh, her Disney love. When she talked about Disneyland being her happy place, I just wanted to hug her. Finding someone who will match that enthusiasm is going to be key.
What's interesting about Madison is how clearly she articulates what she needs. There's no game playing, no "I'll change for the right person" nonsense that we see on other dating shows.
And that's why I'm rooting for her so hard. She deserves someone who appreciates how uniquely wonderful she is. I just hope the show finds her some good matches because she's a total catch.
Agreed. I am invested in Madison already. She's the real deal.
Speaking of returning contestants, the one and only James is back for his third season, and honestly, I'm glad the show brought him back.
James, my favorite formally dressed, hilariously candid contestant. This is giving persistence, and I'm here for it. Third time's the charm, right?
His formal speech patterns and that Napoleon Dynamite-esque vibe never gets old. The way he sighs and grunts when he's frustrated, unscripted television gold.
Oh my God, the huffing and puffing, so good. And the banter with his parents is everything. When his dad was trying to prep him for the date and James just went full James on him, I died.
That family dynamic is fascinating. They genuinely want him to succeed, but also recognize his, let's say, particular approach to dating. I noticed they gave him 2 specific instructions for his date this time. Keep it positive and don't yawn.
The bar is literally on the floor with those instructions.
What fascinates me about James is his rigidity with preferences. He seems exclusively interested in neurotypical women, which is valid, but then his deal breakers include children and pets. That seems hard to find.
No, but seriously though, when that first speed date mentioned dogs and his entire face just dropped, his expressions tell everything he's thinking in real time.
In what universe is someone going to check all those boxes for him and accommodate his very specific communication style? Dating is about compromise, which seems challenging for him.
I've been following him since season 1, and his parents are so supportive trying to loosen up some of that rigidness. The way they gently challenge him when he immediately rules women out is really sweet.
That's what makes this show different. These aren't just characters the producers created. This is actually how James navigates the world, and they're showing it without manufacturing drama.
I'm still not over how he lives with his parents and just casually strolls in after dates to give them the full report. Most reality contestants would never let themselves be filmed in those vulnerable family moments.
It's refreshing. And while I question if James will ever find someone who meets his extensive criteria, I can't help but root for him.
Third season, James, let's go. I just want him to find his match so badly.
Let's talk about Connor's date with Kate, which was a masterclass in first date awkwardness that somehow still had me invested in their future.
Oh my God, I was literally biting my nails through that entire date. The way Connor was visibly nervous about his first date in over a year, and then Kate shows up in that gorgeous red dress looking so excited to meet him.
The irony that Connor's mother spent all that time helping him learn to iron his shirt, and then his date turns out to be someone who had a crush on him from watching previous seasons.
I mean, talk about pressure. Kate was practically vibrating with excitement, and Connor was like a deer in headlights. Did you catch how he struggled to get the conversation flowing at first?
What struck me was how Kate immediately took on the role of conversation carrier. You could see Connor processing each response in real time.
No, but seriously though, when they discovered they didn't have any common interests, the way his face just fell. His demeanor shifted when she said she didn't like Pomeranians.
In any other dating show, that would be edited as comedic relief, but here it felt genuinely consequential. For Connor, shared interests aren't just nice-to-haves, they're foundational.
But Kate was so smitten. When she confessed she had a crush on him from the last season, I was like, please, Connor, give her a chance. It's giving hopeless romantic vibes, and I'm emotionally invested now.
What's fascinating about their dynamic is how Connor seemed to warm up to her throughout the date, but that cliffhanger ending where he's stumbling over his words about seeing her again, pure, unmanufactured tension.
I'm putting it out into the universe right now. Connor needs to ask for that second date. The way she was looking at him, practically begging him with her eyes to say he wanted to see her again. But I won't lie, I predict he is going to friend zone her.
Don't you dare speak that into existence. I think he just needs time to process. Sometimes the best connections aren't about having everything in common, but about complementing each other's strengths and weaknesses.
That's surprisingly profound, coming from someone who cried over Love Island last week.
Excuse me, Love Island is art and I stand by my tears.
Now, let's talk about James and his speed dating adventure.
Yep, so remember his parents gave him 2 pieces of advice. Stay positive and don't yawn. Well, guess what the first thing he did was?
Yawned, repeatedly, through multiple dates. But what makes James so compelling is how his face telegraphs every single thought he has. I love it.
The way his face dropped when his first date mentioned she had dogs. Then on the second date, she said she wanted kids. You could literally see his soul leaving his body. He could not catch a break.
James has the subtlety of a neon sign. His parents must know this, which is why they specifically warned him about keeping it positive. But he physically cannot hide his reactions. And I find that refreshingly honest compared to the fake enthusiasm we see on shows like The Bachelor.
This is his 3rd season trying to find love, and I respect that he knows exactly what he wants. No kids, no pets, just an independent woman who tolerates his grunting.
I just keep thinking about your Napoleon Dynamite reference. Spot on.
But did you see what happened with his 4th speed date? The woman who loves animals and wants kids? I was fully expecting another James shutdown, but he seemed interested.
That was fascinating. After rejecting women for the exact same qualities, suddenly he's making an exception. Is it desperation after 3 seasons? Or was there just something about her that overrode his usual deal breakers, like being a blonde with a banging bod?
I think there was definitely some attraction there. His whole energy shifted. Like suddenly the fact that she wants the exact things he's been avoiding didn't matter as much.
Or maybe what James wants is just to not be alone anymore, even if it means compromising on the checklist he's been so rigid about. That's actually a significant moment of growth if that's the case.
I'm really rooting for James this season, and if he's willing to be more flexible about his requirements, he might actually find his person.
Speaking of relationships that actually work, we need to talk about Adan and Dani because they're definitely a success story of this series.
Yes, I was literally so happy to see them still together and celebrating their 1 year anniversary. This is the kind of reality TV content I live for. Actual, lasting relationships.
They prove that the show's premise actually works. And I have to say, the way his father looked at him with such pride while helping him get ready for the anniversary date was genuinely touching.
Not me getting emotional over Odon's dad helping him look handsome for his big date. The way his dad obviously respects him and treats him like an adult while still offering guidance is so healthy. You could tell how much his support means to Odon.
100%. It's refreshing to see that kind of positive male relationship on TV. And then the anniversary itself. For a moment there, I thought Adam was about to propose.
I know! I was holding my breath. The way they exchanged gifts was so sweet, though. And can we talk about Dani? She is absolutely wearing the pants in this relationship, and I am here for it.
Dani knows exactly what she wants and isn't afraid to go after it. That second base comment completely sailed over Odon's head, and her directness about intimacy is both hilarious and admirable.
The metaphor just whooshing right past him. His face was so confused. But that's what makes them work. She's forward enough to move things along when he might be too hesitant or unaware of social cues. It's a great dynamic.
Agreed. Okay, well, I think that about covers it for today's recap of Love on the Spectrum Episode 1. So many sweet moments, awkward pauses, and genuine connections. I can't wait for the next one. Catch you next time.
Thanks for sticking with us, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Our rants and raves from episode 2 are coming in hot.